this Craftsman RER 1000 here today. Taking a look at it, customer says that it won't start. I've touched base on this issue a couple times before, but there's a couple different safety switch locations I'd like to show you and a couple different things that I'd like to mention. Now this is the same on the Cub Cadet, the Bilt, the Craftsman, Yard Machines, Boland's, and many other MTD private label brands. Go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button as we go along if you enjoy the content. So the customer called and said that he hit a stick and his mower would not restart. Now the first things I asked is, hey, are you sure the brake's all the way pushed in? Are you sure the blade's disengaged? Let's go ahead and engage that and disengage it again. Make sure you're sitting on the seat. He said in the affirmative, all of the above. Well, next I asked him, hey, can you check the fuse real quick for me? So he did. Now the fuse is right below, down by the battery here. Just pull it straight out and see if the filament in it is still there. He said that it was all good. So I asked him next to check the side chute. The side chute is the most common problem with this that I see when people hit things. Now we do have a full electronic rundown on our other video about this issue, if you want to see that one, but that's not the case here. The case is over here, when you look, what happens is when you hit something, this whole guard will actually be kicked up and the safety switch directly under will not be pushed. When that's not pushed, your mower will not start. It needs to be all the way against here in order to start the unit. When that pops out and above and that switch comes down or out, that is not going to work. It's not going to start. That's the only problem with this. I'll show you how to fix that. First off, we want to remove the wing nuts that hold the mulch cover or the chute on. Either way, just unscrew, and they don't in this case. So this quick easy project turned into a not so quick and easy project. So what's happened here, if you look on this side, you can see that the plastic is actually cracked. That means that this wing nut is just spinning on the actual bolt underneath. We're gonna break this basically with this pair of pliers, remove that off of there so we can get to the nut underneath and remove it separately. Same kind of thing here, a big pair of pliers you can get some leverage on. It's gonna work best. If yours isn't stuck, move on to the next step. That's basically a 1/2 inch and it's a lock nut. You're gonna have to get a skinny wrench. A lot of us have wrenches that are ground down and stuff like that. I like these skinny pliers. They usually work just as well for things like this. Get a good grip. Now this is a carriage bolt and back, so as you're doing this, you want to kind of hold it out. There is supposed to be kind of a lock washer on there that holds it in place. Many times if they're this bad, that's going to already be gone. A little bit of lube helps sometimes, goes a long way. Not worried about it now. I already kind of passed that spot. One off, get the other one here. Same thing. And again, we're just trying to get under this flange because it's a lock nut. We're trying to get under the flange. This lock nut's actually on backwards on that. Looks like we've still got a piece of plastic or something there. It's keeping us from coming back up. There it goes. That one's not wanting to come easily. If I can get my, yeah, definitely not wanting to work there either. Try it one more time with the little bit thicker of a wrench. It's a 1/2 inch. Not wanting to come. I'm going to tighten this back up just a hair. Throw a little bit of lube on it, see what that does for me. We use the Torque CB Kimball Midwest. Usually seems to work pretty well for things like this. Must be some damage to the threads or something there at the top. Not going good at all right now. Wasn't really planning on taking us through a long wing nut removal, but here we are. Side stripped. All right, so now we're at the point that should have taken about 15 seconds. So that's good. And then our chute comes straight off. You got a mulch plug, it's the same thing, it just doesn't come out to the side here. I'll show you how to fix this. I'm just gonna put this in a vise. Don't have to be real tight or anything. And I'm gonna take my MAP gas and I'm gonna heat up just all along here, all along this edge, and I'm going to bend this down, that way that plastic actually sits at a further angle downwards, and it will stay like that. You can use regular propane or anything else for this. Singe it real bad. So I'm going to take it and kind of get that angle in there. Get that to sit down there. About like this. You can remove all that grass and stuff, obviously, if you want to do that first. Now once that goes back up against there, we'll wait for it to cool down and kind of form back to here. But it will be pushing that button once it's installed. So I ran a little bit of water over it, let it cool down a bit. We want to blow all the stuff. Blow everything around there out and off. Want a nice clean environment. You don't want a bunch of grass sticking down here or at the top, keeping this from seating all the way. We get the right hand side in first, and there's a little tab that it's got to sit on here. Just push that kind of straight down, get that side. And then when you're here, you basically have to push the whole thing down to get everything lined up, because this is already going to be seated. It's already going to be hitting onto that button. And we push down as it goes, and we've got a couple wing nuts. New ones here look a little bit better. Put a little bit of anti-seize on there. We'll hold this down while we tighten this wing nut. Again, some of the newer models actually have a piece of metal that comes out this way and kind of holds this down more, but I've seen the same issue with those also. Even though it kind of holds them down, the wing nut will come loose, or the plastic will just warp enough that it comes out just far enough that it doesn't make contact. Now, right now as we're looking, this is 100% up against the switch. The button is all the way pushed. And that plastic is not going to warp very much over time for that to push back out again. Second wing nut. now we are good to go. Key. Now it cranks over like it should. Before it wouldn't do anything whatsoever. Let me show you where those safety switches are located. And again, you can view that other video if you're having other issues beyond this. So safety switches, if you're wanting to check them, we've got the one here for the side chute, the one that we just made sure was pushed all the way in. You can make sure at the back that the wire is all the way plugged in. Nothing's unplugged there. And then it goes up to another safety switch, which actually sits directly under the base of the engine. So you can see this screw sitting right under the base of where that oil drain would be. I don't know if that's a drain or what it is. I think on different units they may use it as a filter area or something, but that screw sitting straight through is what's holding the safety switch for the brake on this model. I'll show you that a little closer here. This one is the one for your PTO. When you engage it, it takes the arm away from the plunger. You've also got this one right here is for your reverse. It basically grounds the reverse switch out at that tab. If that tab wasn't plugged in, then your mower would not die when you went in reverse like it should. And that basically disables the reverse safety. Don't want to do that. Now I took the brake off so we could see this a little bit clearer. As soon as you hit the brake, that plunger gets pushed in. And again, this is right above the one that goes to the deck. Right up top there. Make sure those wires are still plugged in. And make sure that plunger is actually being pushed when the brake is pushed. A lot of times that tab will get broken off and it's able to turn even though it's still up there, but the brake is not actually pushing it. Seat safety switch is right here. Now you don't have to be sitting on the seat in order to start this, as long as your parking brake is locked down in, as long as you have it pushed and then locked to park on the other side. Well, there we have another difficult repair for something that should be quite simple. Fortunately, we got it fixed up. Everything's good. Hopefully you know the location of those safety switches. There are some different locations and some different ones that have one up under the steering column and stuff. That's shown in the other video. So I wanted to clarify where the brake switch is on some of these different models and kind of show you this process again and what I see happening a lot. Go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button if you enjoyed the content.